This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 RDX, $419 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got two flags. One was over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there, Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester Palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh baby, yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not $24,000, just $17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 MDX, $469 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard. Yes, sir. Time to rock and roll. It's hump day. It's football day. We finally got ourselves a little football. Nothing wrong with a little football in life. You know what? That's what they say. A little pigskin in life is a good thing. And we got ourselves the pigskin. It is back. We are on. Sean Stanley, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, driving the program. We got, let's see, Manny Navarro going to join us at 3 o'clock. And then we're going to have David Furones at 3:30. I was there with David at camp today. Today was, I think today and tomorrow it's media only. And then I think they're, not sure if they're off Friday or we get one more. They're off 2 days. I think that's how it goes. Something like that. It's something like that. So we'll go to practice for the next couple of days. I think the practice open to you guys will be on Sunday. On Sunday is the
the first practice for you guys here. Let me make sure. Yes, today, then tomorrow practice, then Friday another practice. So Friday, which we are at Zinn, aren't we? Yeah, we're at Zinn. So that would probably be again an afternoon show at Zinn. So because I will be at practice again on Friday morning. And then Sunday will probably be the first day, not only for you guys, but also I would imagine that the pads come on Sunday. If anything, maybe Friday we'll get pads, but we had shells today. We'll have shells tomorrow, you know. So I don't really get crazy. I know sometimes guys, they have to fill space, the gentlemen and the ladies. Although I don't think I saw any lady beat writers today at all. But the folks that were writing, they got to write about, you know, linemen and linebackers, which don't mean shit to me when there aren't any pads or isn't real hitting. So, you know, when it's nice that Brandon Peely got a sack today, but I don't really, you know, I can't. You know, Agba got a sack today too. Doesn't mean much to me at the moment. You know, not that I need Agba to prove anything to me anyways. I know he can play. You know, we're hoping Peely becomes, you know, a factor, obviously, because they spent a draft pick on the young man. So you hope that they can develop him. But without pads, I don't really measure offensive linemen and D linemen and linebackers. The physicalness of it is not there right now because it's shells. So, you know, I get it if certain media has to write it up or talk about it, you know, but this guy here that's been at this for over 30 years, I know what's real and what's Memorex, and that's, you know, the stuff today that went on is Memorex. It's not the real deal. So we got to kind of, you know, separate church and state here, you know, when it's all said and done. But we'll give you our complete training camp breakdown here on the show, and so we'll have some fun. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got Inter will be off till next week. I've got obviously music stuff. I got a little crypto talk too. So we got certain things to talk about on the program. By the way, let me pull up the message board here because I have not pulled up the message board or whatsoever on YouTube and see where the folks are at. Remember, you can always make a donation to the program, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And you can always make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation since that ice has been broken. Nobody had made an Ethereum donation until Ray. It's always been Bitcoin or just a regular donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And you can send in your questions and comments there. And speaking of the market, let's go with what's going on right now. We're still stuck in the 66,000 area, which is really amazing because that's where, you know, the prior all-time highs were. So you're kind of hanging out there, and the real all-time highs, the 73.4 that you're waiting to cross, it's right around the corner. So it's pretty interesting. And Ethereum, by the way, down a 1.2% right now. It's at 3,401. Solana is hot right now, up 4% at almost $180 at $179.79. Illuvium, which I'm a big fan of, is up nearly just over 5.5%. It's up at $72. Jasmy, which we're fans of Jasmy, here we go. We are Jazz. We are Jasmy. Jasmy is up nearly 5%, trying to approach the 3-cent mark. What else do we have in crypto going on that is of note? XRP is up 5% to 62 cents for those of you that are into XRP. Theta is up about 3.5% to $1.50. Theta is basically the YouTube of the blockchain, is what Theta is trying to become.
Those are some of the things going on. And in the market right now, it's a red day, a bad day. 356 points down right now in the Dow. The S&P is down 105 points, and the NASDAQ is down about half a point now. So you've got that going on. So that's why when you look at Bitcoin and it's kind of going sideways, liquidity is everything. Right now, Bitcoin is up 0.5%. It's barely up 0.63. So markets, the stock market is bleeding badly. The problem with the stock market is it's 7 stocks. Really. It's what I tell you guys. I'm not a big, I'm more into crypto than anything else. But if I was investing in the stock market, I'd just buy this top 7 and I wouldn't give a shit about anything else. And just buy the top 7 every time they dip. Those are the ones that I would stay with and just keep sticking with that, and you'll make your money. You'll be comfortable. That'll be your own 401k that you don't need anybody else to charge you to manage it. It's kind of simple, but I'm not a financial advisor, of course. What the hell? Anyway, Jamie Zoria, number 1 in the house in San Jose, reminding everybody, smash that like button. Let's go. Smash it, smash it, smash it. We got 34 likes only. Let's go. Let's get to a couple hundred. Let's jack this shit up. Steven Gonzalez is in. 2 players from the preseason. Pupless, Odell Long. Should we be concerned? I'm not concerned about anything in late July, dude. There's so much time. Odell doesn't need a whole bunch of practice time. That's not what he needs, dude. He's smart enough to pick up the plays and what he has to do. So I am not even worried about it. In fact, when like Teron Armstead rested today, it's like, do I really need Teron Armstead out there on the first day of training camp without pads or anything? No, dude, I don't need his ass out there. Let him be out there on the sidelines, talking to the fellas, giving tips to Paul or something like that. There we go. Fundamentally, that's how you're helping, the team out. Leadership-wise, that's how you're helping. I don't need to see any more of Teron Armstead. I'm not worried about it. So it's just, But I know, Steven, you're kind of a panic guy, so it happens. I've kind of learned your ways. Steve Chapman, Ray Sosa. No, Odell's one of those guys that's going to always be dealing with soft tissue stuff. That's why you have 4,000 receivers. There's a reason why. We told you, right, that they invested in all these guys. They're going to have their share of their group and have depth. You know what I'm saying? But don't expect Odell. I mean, I hope he plays all 17 games, but let's not be surprised if he has to miss a couple of games here or there. That's, kind of been his thing. So that's why you didn't have to spend a lot of money. This is why you're not risking a lot overall, but you have a lot to gain from it when he's, on the field complimenting the other 2 guys. Waddle looks great. Okay. Let's see. Steve Chapman, Ray Sosa, Firemen. If you saw my chat yesterday, the lineup for the police concert with the animals and the fix at the Orange. Oh, okay. There we go. That's right. You are correct, sir. Now that brought it back now. That was it. That was the animals. The B-52s was with another concert in the Orange Bowl. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's what it was. Who was it with? Yeah, that's what it was. And it kind of was an odd pairing. I got to go back in my memory bank to remember that. But that's probably why I got those 2 switched out. Thank you, Fireman. I appreciate you. Joe 305 in the house. NorCal is in the house. Going to be another hot one out in NorCal. Fire it up. That's it, NorCal. Spark it up. Eddie Beto says, I know Chris Greer has been saying that Tua Tagovailoa is our guy, but could it be that no contract has been signed because of Steve? No, it has something, let me break something down, because too many people, our problem is, I think we have too much time on our hands as media, and they have to fill 24-hour cycles. As fans, you obsess over your teams. And then you start looking into things and you start reading into it just way too much. Oh, do the Dolphins really not believe in Tua? Because, they say all the right things and all that kind of. They believe in him. And they always say all the right things about everybody. It doesn't matter if you're Wilkins going out the door. It doesn't really matter, or you're a current player. Chris Greer doesn't trash anybody. And everything's always positive. He's always going to do that. He's not going to ever take the low road. He always takes the high road. He always takes the classy road. That's what they do. Okay? So this is pure business. They love Tua. But see, the problem is the fans, they get all fanatical about it. Well, no, you can pay them. And then you start bitching because, bro, you're paying Jimmy Butler 60-something million dollars, and he's 36 years old. And then that's what happens. Oh, my God, you're paying Tyler this much. And then that's what also happens. You're going to end up complaining if they overpay, because then that hurts them to try to get other players. So they got to a number, and they were pretty much negotiating probably in an area. And then all of a sudden, the market got a little crazy. But the Dolphins said, well, wait a minute, dude, we love you, but we're not going crazy here. We want to build a team. It's pretty simple. It's not about bending backwards just because the market explodes. And then when you talk about tough negotiations, that's how they are with everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. They just don't. Now, I'm talking about now that Chris Greer is really in charge. Not when Tannenbaum and Gase, or prior to that also, he was not fully in charge. Okay? This is fully in charge. And if you look at going into his 6th year fully in charge, he's a tough negotiator. And Shore is a crafty mofo the way he structures the contracts. This 1-2 punch, or 3-1 punch, because it's Greer, McKenzie, Allen, and Shore, they've proved it has nothing to do with your fandom. Whoa, it went up for them. Now it has to go up for him. And I get it. He's better than Trevor Lawrence. He's put up better numbers than Trevor Lawrence. I understand all of that, but that's not the way the Dolphins roll. And that's not how they want to do things. And so they don't want to overpay, and that's pretty simple. It's nothing personal. It's all professional. And it's all a hardline stance, whether you're X, whether you're Connor Williams. It doesn't matter who it is. Oh, and Agba, you're coming back? Good. It's an incentive-laden deal for you to get to $5 million, which now they save off of the Shaq Barrett $7 million. And there's a great chance that Agba doesn't even get to $5 million. So let's say they end up paying 3.5 or something next year for him. They pay like half of what they were going to pay for Shaq Barrett. That's how this guy is. He has pulled. Do we not joke around low-hanging fruit? We've created that whole thing here for Chris Greer and company. Have we not? The 2-year thing. We've exposed that too, right? That he's taken advantage. He gets guys that he thinks, oh, no, this guy's pretty good, better than what he thinks. I'm going to sneak in a second year, and, he's going to take it like Agba, that first 2-year contract that he kicked ass in the first year. And, baby, we got you for the second year, and you got to give us another 9 sacks for a minimal number. You know what I'm saying? So this is who he is. Mostert scores 20 touchdowns, and he's getting paid $3 million. Like, it's stupid. The shit he pulls off, it's what you want as a fan, because he tries to maximize the money to really make the roster the best it could possibly be. So they're at a stalemate now, because clearly the agents got a little crazy and said, no, you got to top all this. And they said, no, you're not going anywhere anyways. We're going to build a team. And that's it. And so that's where this stalemate is. Now, will the Dolphins move a little? Probably. Will Tua's people have to move some? Hell yeah. And that's it. So if you're waiting for the numbers to super exceed everybody else's, that's probably not going to happen. Sorry, not going to happen. That's just the way it is. So at least that's what it looks like. And so it's nothing personal. It's all professional. And they don't want to get into a rut where then they have to then pay too much, and then it's hurting them and trying to fill out the rest of the roster. They like to keep flexibility. That's what that's their MO. And even if it's your quarterback, they're going to want to keep flexibility. And I think you have to appreciate that as a fan, that they're not going to just give away bad contracts. And not saying that paying Tua a little bit more than Trevor is a bad contract. It might turn out to be a great contract, because if Tua just balls out this year and doesn't get the contract, well, then next year he's going to get even more than he was asking, and the Dolphins will have to give it to him. So yeah, they're kind of rolling the dice too at the same time. It's not an easy situation for either side, but I do understand what the Dolphins are doing. I understand where Tua and his people are at, but something's going to have to give. And there's a good chance it's going to be the quarterback that's going to give, because it's the quarterback that has everything to lose. Let's talk about Tua and his decision. Today, he did all the 7-on-7s. And on 11-on-11s, he only handed off. He wasn't really passing. I talked about this before, okay? And this is going to be the interesting part about all of this. And it'll be interesting to see how Tua handles this, right? Because the guy that's going to lose the most will be Tua when it's all said and done. If he wants that contract and he wants to get paid more than all those guys because his ego and the ego of the agents has taken over and said, well, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to take less than these guys when we're better than those guys. And if that's the case, then you're going to be at a stalemate. And one of the things that I've told you the last couple of weeks is that if I'm Tua, I say, okay, you're under contract. You're not going to hold out, because you're going to get fined $50,000 a day and they can't rescind it. It's what this guy is now getting fined $40,000. I think CeeDee Lamb, is getting fined $40,000 a day, or it was a CeeDee or somebody else. It might be CeeDee, but somebody that is holding out is, literally holding out, not holding in. Maybe it's not CeeDee, it's somebody else that I read, but you're going to get fined $40,000 a day. And that's not going to help you. Plus, because you've only gone through 1 year of staying healthy, it's almost like you really haven't proven to everybody. Even just because a guy like me has total belief in Tua, that doesn't mean that plenty of other people have that. Okay? Lots of other people still have their questions. And I'm sure people around the league have their questions. So it's not like you can get on a position where you're going to have a whole ton of teams ready to trade for you and pay for you, because you're not going anywhere. You're under contract, and they can tag you for a couple more years. So you're really not going anywhere at all. So you're better off, like I said, take the reps, shove the ball down their throats, prove them wrong, and make them pay you more. And that's kind of where he's at. But if this, I know the coach called it fluid today in the press conference, that if, how he practices and all that, it'll be fluid. The only guy he's going to hurt is himself. Then he's going to hurt the team. He's going to set everything back for himself. And then he's not going to get his contract. So you're better off practicing. You're not going to really, Marino blew out an Achilles without being touched. Okay, I get it. But normally, nothing's going to happen to you. They're not going to hit you or anything like that. So you're going to be fine. Okay, once you get to the season, okay, now's when you're taking, but you learned how to play smart last year. Make quick decisions, get rid of the football, do not hold on to the ball 4 or 5 seconds and put yourself at risk. You know what I'm saying? So you learned how to play smart last year. Play smart, make them pay. But today is not a good sign of things to come if you're going to not give yourself the full practice amount of opportunities. Remember, you're not going to play much in the preseason. So this practice time is really, really important. And if you choose to hold out and out of those 11 on 11s, and then when the season starts and your timing is off and you're making mistakes, don't blame your practice schedule. You're under contract. You chose to do that. Like I said, who has more to lose? Tua. Tua will be blamed because he didn't practice. So that's why you're not sharp. Can't use your contract. You're under contract. You're getting paid this year. Next year, if you don't want to sign your tag and all that becomes a whole different issue. But you signed it. You've agreed to it. You're getting paid. So you're getting paid to do a job. So this is the catch-22 for him. Now, if you think you can play the season, come out, be sharp, and not have the practice time that you need, then hey, God bless you. I hope you can do it. That's even better. That would really take it to another crazy ass level for Tua. But I will say that not practicing on the 11 on 11s is probably not a good idea for him in the long run if you want that contract. We'll see how it goes. It's way early and all that. But, it's up to him. We'll see what happens. We'll see how they handle it. What else do we have? Did you watch the Poyer news conference saying the Dolphins fold went up? Brother, that's been going on for 40 years. $40 years. 40 years. The Dolphins have never been a tough team for 40 years. I'll tell you, probably at the end of the 85 season, the 84 season that they went to the Super Bowl 85, it's probably the end of it. From there on out, they were probably known as a team that when you got on them, they folded. It's been like that for 40 years. They can't win in the cold for 40 years. They usually don't win out in the West Coast for 40 years. I'm not sure. It seems to me like some of you just started following the Miami Dolphins. Seriously. Some of you just started watching the Miami Dolphins. Like the cold game, which was the coldest game in forever for the Dolphins. But like, I'm not sure. Like, we have all these memories of being great in cold weather. We have all these memories the last 40 years that we used to punch people in the mouth and be more physical in them. God, I miss that. Holy shit, when did that happen? Oh, yeah, 1970s. Yeah, when we used to punch people in the mouth on offense and defense. I don't know, Heriberto. I don't know, my brother. Are you 25 years old? Are you 30 years old? Are you 15? Because if you're my age and you're acting surprised that the Dolphins would fold when you punch them in the mouth, I'm not sure. Did you watch a lot of the Jimmy Johnson years? Did you watch them go to the playoffs? They would get punched in the mouth right in the playoffs and thoroughly embarrassed. Thoroughly embarrassed. I'm not sure if you missed it, my brother, but that is not breaking news. The Dolphins have been soft for 40 years, my brother. 40 years. I'm not sure what football some of you people are watching all of a sudden. You're surprised that was the image of the Dolphins? Soft? They've been soft forever, bro. Even in the early 90s, when they would go up against the Bills, you knew the Dolphins were the finesse team, and the Bills had the finesse and had the physicality. And you knew right there when you were playing it. I'm not sure how old you are, Eddie Beto. I'm not sure, my brother. But you're acting like you're 20 years old and you've never watched the Dolphins in your life, and you just are learning that they are soft in cold weather and that they have been a soft team for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. It's freaking hilarious, bro. Like, wow. Blows me away. Brian Walters, NorCal, Oscar Rojas, Smash It Baby, Captain Saki, Cosa Nostra, Ty Crook. Do some of you have a problem looking in the mirror and saying my Dolphins have been a finesse and soft team for 40 years? Because that's the case. That's been the case forever, dude. No, but it's, Tua's fault, of course. Ty Crook is in. Yes, finally some real football. Well, kind of, no pads, you know what I'm saying? Good afternoon. Any concerns? I already talked about the OBJ thing. Jay Gelfin is in. Think Blue Dodgers. Eric Simon, Giovanni, Daniel Barry, Joe 305, Rock Bear. All the best. Thank you, sir. Checking in from the UK. Brett is in Canada. Ray Sosa, Jay Slim, Brian Landis. I'm glad I'm waiting to buy more Bitcoin. I'm going to buy on Monday, but it was more than today. Yeah, that's all right. Buy some more. You're good. This has all been a buying zone for 3 months. That's all. Just keep scooping up whenever you can. Dollar cost average. You can't lose. No doubts. Michael Cody is in Buffalo. I'll see you on November 2nd, 3rd, what is it? When we're at River Pub in Niagara. So make sure you join us, Michael Cody. All the Dolphin fans in the Buffalo, Rochester, Niagara area, we're going to be there at the River Pub. We're going to do our Dolphins pre- and post-game show for Dolphins at Bills. Right there. So, Michael Cody, get your ass over there. We're going to bring a bunch of Big O Show shirts we're going to give away and stuff. So, if you go, be great to meet you all. True Fin fan. I don't have time to be waiting on bullshit. Relax with the hysteria, people. We're getting close to another Dolphin season. Just enjoy it. Don't be miserable. True Fin fan. Did you see True Fin fan? He made news. Did you see True Fin fan made news, Sean? Did you catch it? Well, True Fin fan. Now, True Fin fan, I want you to know, has apologized. Okay? Because he did cause a disturbance. He ate at a Dairy Queen. He said, doesn't happen to me. And he went and had a Dairy Queen hot dog, then went to Yellowstone. See, here's where the caption, our very own True Fin fan visited Yellowstone after having a Dairy Queen hot dog today. And then it says True Fin fan apologies. And so if you haven't seen the scene, okay, it got interesting at Yellowstone there at the geyser. There's a new... I guess the internet's weak. Or there you go. That was True Fin Fan after the hot dog, and he went to Yellowstone and he became True Fin Fan. See, when I eat a hot dog, okay, I'm in the shitter for a couple days, whatever. I'm not really making. But when True Fin Fan goes, is there a bathroom that's going to hold all this? There's no bathroom that's going to hold all of this at all. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at this. Yeah. I mean, that is. I wish it could go in a circle here. I don't know why it freezes up on me. Sean, I don't know if maybe you could pull it up or something on your end or something, but True Fin Fan, the original human geyser. And he did apologize. He issued an apology. No one was hurt. Okay. So, but again, here's proof. Humans and Dairy Queen hot dogs do not go along. And True Fin Fan, definitely. Buddy, you can't do these kind of things. The San Andreas Fault is not too far away from you. So, maybe another 1,000 miles away, one more of those farts, and, most of California slides into the Pacific. There it is. Yeah, you need to enlarge it because that's how it really plays into the seismic size of his fart. Trouble there. I wasn't as stuffed up as my internet wasn't as stuffed up as True Fin Fan. Whew. That's backed up right there. That is backed up. Let's see what else. You're speaking facts, but most fans don't see it that way. It's either they believe in him, they'll overpay, or he's a bum, and that's why he's not getting paid. Right? It's either or. And the people, and then once they pay him, they'll complain about what they paid him. Yeah, it's just a great way to. It's. I got to tell you, this is funny, okay? Because I'm sitting there, I'm there with all the media brethren, and Tua throws an interception, and I got to tell you, there's like this giddiness and like this, like. I don't know. It's like there's an excitement of, oh, we got something to write about, We've got clickbait. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's just, it felt like those moments when I'm sitting there and my wife walks out topless and you're like, whoa. That's kind of like that, it's just it's just one of those moments. It was funny. It was funny. It was a note they could all have in their book. Ocean View Coffee Shop says, I just saw Fletcher will be the starting halfback for the Canes. I mean, I hope so. Good player, man. Let's see what else. Hassan Reddick, I'm pretty sure, is the only. That's the guy. That's the guy that he has a $14 million salary and he's getting fined. That's the one. Thank you. Thank you, Spooky Myers. There you go. I knew there was somebody, and I was kind of like, no, maybe it's not CeeDee Lamb because I was kind of questioning myself. That's it. You got it, bro. Thank you so much. Really hard to remember everything. Gus 1388. Big O, I've been saying all offseason he literally and theoretically can't afford to sit out. It's up to him. He can do whatever he thinks is right or his team or whatever, but, it is what it is. Nate gone. He's already being blamed for everything, so why not continue with Holden? Can't argue with Nate either on that. I'm willing to, bet that a lot of people here are young or haven't been in touch with the reality of the Dolphins for long. Facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, that's been, Karun says, bro, that's been going for 40 years. Laughing my ass out loud. I laugh so hard. I know. Like, we're going to freak out what Jordan Poyer says. What are you, a little sensitive bitch here? You haven't been seeing this for 40 years? This is what we want to get out of. We kind of are tired of being the soft team. We're kind of tired of the team that's not good enough. We're tired of the team that doesn't have the coach that's good enough, or the defense, or the quarterback, or the offensive line, or the front office, or the owner, or whatever it is. This is the rut we've been in for like 40 years. People make it out like it's like a Tua thing or something. This team's been soft for 40 years. They were soft under Marino. Soft. What do you think? Bud Brown was tough? Think Jay Brophy was going to win us anything? I must have missed that. What Poyer was thinking is what 2 prior generations were thinking. Yes, Agbo was out there. He even had a sack today. Again, not a big deal. No pads, whatever. But he had a sack today. I agree with even as a fan, they look us as soft. It's been like that, Kenna, forever. Eddie Bento says, Big O, it's not a surprise to me. It's just that Poyer is now at the Dolphins, and he said that. I've been well, then that's the reality we live in. I'm glad that he said it, but I'm not surprised. That's what we've been forever. And let me give you something else about soft. Let me give you something that right now, you ever go fishing and you throw out your line, right? And you get a little nibble and you feel it, but you know you can't pull yet, right? Experienced fishermen know that. I'm not an expert, but I've been in fishing enough to know my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert. I'm not even going to profess to be an expert, but I've done a shit ton of fishing. Okay. And I've done a shit ton of fishing that I know what to feel like when the nibble's going and when the bite happens, right? Okay, we all know that, okay? Today, we got a nibble. You know, Malik Washington and Javon Holland had a bit of a collision today. And Javon Holland got spun out, flipped over and stuff. It was kind of scary. It was like the second play of the practice. And they were checking him out. And remember, he injured both his knees. And he came back to practice, but he really couldn't finish practice overall. So maybe they also took the precaution. Hey, bro, you just had the 2 knee surgeries from the last off. Let's take precaution here, whatever. Jalen Ramsey said he would be all right, but another player saying something about another player means nothing to me. Has zero. Not that Jalen Ramsey has no credibility, but in this case, they have no credibility because they only say positive things. So we really don't know what went on with Javon Holland, but that's not my point. And then there was a collision with the aforementioned Jordan Poyer with Jalen Waddle. Remember, there aren't any pads going on. We're not supposed to have the 2 collisions we had going on. Nibble. It might not mean anything. Don't pull on the line. Don't pull. You'll lose your opportunity to get the fish. Don't pull. So listen to me. Just a nibble. I thought about this. I was talking with OJ McDuffie about this at practice. I turned to him and I say, you think this is Weaver sending a message to his team like, hey, guys, we're going to be physical no matter what, all the time. We need to have a presence. And today, so I'm just wondering, I just want you to make a mental note
And I want you to start tracking what goes on from here on up, because Weaver's new to all of us. We have no idea what kind of defensive coordinator he's going to be. We have no idea how he's going to use everybody. I tripped out with the media members today because they're all asking. Remember, we've mentioned this. We're playing chess, okay? This is the checkers. They're all asking about the one guy, Ramsey. Oh, well, your versatility now will be used, this, that. Yeah, I want to see how it develops, but yeah, it looks like this, that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you guys are missing the point. Javon Holland has versatility. There's several players that, remember, we've talked about this, the several players that they have that have versatility to them. Calais Campbell can play inside and outside. You're going to have guys that can do different things, and so you're going to see different things. So it isn't going to only be Jalen Ramsey that is going to be your Swiss Army knife like they were talking about today, in the media scrum and all that. There'll be other guys that will be Swiss Army knives also, and people weren't talking about that kind of stuff. So we don't know what kind of defensive coordinator Weaver is, because he's a man now. Now he gets to really go all out and do it. He's got a front office that's working with him, a head coach that's working with him. He's making the decisions on defense. So we got to see what kind of defensive coordinator he is. But today, the first day, no pads. I see 2 collisions. And I see 2 collisions that are not supposed to happen at this point in time. Very risky, very edgy, probably not smart. But there's a problem on this team for 40 years. This happened before Jordan Poyer was born. How's that line for you? Huh? How's that line for you? This happened before Jordan Poyer was born. I've been watching the Dolphins be soft and fold in key moments and choke in cold weather and lose on the West Coast and not perform well in the playoffs for 40 years. Way before Jordan Poyer was born. I was watching this. I was suffering this like a lot of others. So, if some of you just have arrived, or you just noticed that your Dolphins are soft, that your Dolphins are known as chokers, that your Dolphins are known as a team that doesn't come through in big moments, that your Dolphins never go deep into the playoffs, welcome to 40 years. Welcome to my nightmare, as Alice Cooper would say. Okay? Welcome to my nightmare. So, I want to know what's going on. Was this a nibble and it meant nothing, and I'm keeping the pole in the water, and hey, anything going on? Yeah, I had a little nibble earlier, but no, I've been sitting here for 15 minutes, nothing. Fishing. Been there, right? Been there. And then you haven't gotten the nibble in a while, oh shit, 70% of my bait is gone. That kind of shit, right? Anyway. We'll see. Make a little mental note, because I just wanted to see if what happens tomorrow? What happens the next day? What happens next week? I want to see what the tendency and the trend is. And I want to see if maybe you're trending to becoming more physical. Okay? Because remember, they must become more physical on offense too. And kind of been a thing for our team for 40 years. Oh, man. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. They have got it going on. We will be there on Friday afternoon, rocking and rolling after practice. So come on out and join us. They just recently celebrated their 16th anniversary. They've been with us for like 14 years now, or 15 years or something ridiculous. It's been a long time, man. And right now, folks, you can get 3.9% financing for 60 months. We've got the Integra 2024 models right now, $319 a month. The MDX, we have one in the house now. We've had 2 in the house. My daughter used to have an MDX, $479 a month, and the ZDX is out. Get electrified, baby. You are going to love the ZDX, 358 horsepower. It comes with Apple CarPlay, Android too, so it doesn't matter what kind of phone system you have. Man, dual zone climate control, leather heated seats, ventilated seats too at the same time, premium sound system. You can lease this for $499 a month. Gets like 320 miles to the full charge, so you can use it for several days, and you just have the charger at home and recharge. It's not a big deal. It's a beautiful thing, man. Go check it out. And if you happen to own or lease an Acura, you can also get it serviced there, even if you didn't buy it there. Go to their service center. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they are absolutely awesome. Tell them that Big O sent you. Mike and Jordan, they will take care of you. They roll out the red carpets for their clients. They've got a great, what's it called, the lobby there, so you can hang out, TVs, free water, and then they've got a little cafeteria there. So if you want to get un pastelito or you want to get a soda, an ice cream or something while you're waiting for your oil to be changed, tires to be rotated, whatever it is that you're doing, go see my friends at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zids, Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Kenneth says, I'm 39. Well, then you should know, right? Anybody that's old enough, you should know we have been a soft ass team forever. Let's see. Big O, not going to jinx it, but you guys fed the machine some nature beat. I don't know. Let's see. I know I feed my body with it. Checking in from Lakeland, Florida. There we go. Ricardo Carballo. The truth hurts. Oh, we always have this optimistic at the beginning of every season. At the end of the season, in most cases, we flop on the dock like a red snapper. That's been our MO for 40 years, bro. 40 years. Nothing new. Big O, are you voting for Trump for 2024? I hope so. I don't know who I'm voting for, Greg. I really don't want to vote for anybody. They're both terrible. What we've had in the last 3 elections are the worst candidates in the history of mankind. So, I'm a crypto guy. So the only positive I see is the Republicans, not Trump, because Trump's a dumbass. He doesn't know shit. He's pandering, and at least they got to him, and at least his party's super strong with crypto. So at least they got to him, and he's backing it, and I know he can make some money off it, and that's what he wants. But at least that party truly is behind that, whereas the Democrats are truly evil when it comes to that. Look, Kamala was rumored that she was going to go talk at the crypto convention in Nashville, and where Trump is talking, and you think, oh, smart move by her, because old-ass Biden was going to, he was going to let that opportunity go by. Plus, the Democrats have done nothing but try to kill crypto. Okay, that's the only reason I could vote Republican, only because of crypto, not because of anything else, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy that printed $8 trillion in 4 years, okay, which is the guy that's running now. That's not a good president, dude. It's just not. So forget about the insurrection, all the other shit, but money-wise, the guy that lifted all the restrictions in banks, I get it, Greg. Sometimes the Trumpies, they don't want to hear facts, but banks are folding because of Trump. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure, dude. I don't know what is up your ass that actually thinks you have a good candidate running now. Like you're a cheerleader for Trump. Like, oh my God, yes, we have to go this way. Like, really, dude? Really? Like, am I looking forward to having either one as president? No. They're both terrible, dude. So this whole please vote for Trump, like, that's sad, bro. That's sad. That's the way I look at you, dude. Sad. You know? If you're just a party zombie, then okay. But, I mean, please don't tell me that these are good candidates. Don't tell me that Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Trump, and now Kamala, that this is what I've had. And what else tried with Trump? Ted Cruz? I mean, whatever. This is the shit they give me on both sides. So I'm not exactly sure how you can be with the pom-poms for anybody. Okay? If Trump gets in or Kamala, they're going to print $10 trillion. Your dollar is going to crumble so badly. Hyperinflation is going to take over our country, and it's the inevitable. You know, Greg, to me, you're like so many Americans. You are so uninformed. You have no idea the damage that's been done the last 8 years. You have zero clue the damage that's been done by the last two presidents. The worst presidents we've ever had are Trump and Biden. It's like you people really don't follow it. You're just cheerleaders, bro. You're just madly uninformed. Seriously, it's embarrassing. Anyway, True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. His flatulence broke the internet. Yes. Well, True Fin Fan's flatulence can break anything. Steel, platinum, doesn't matter what it is. And remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin donation. And Greg, buy a lot of Bitcoin, my brother. Not a financial advisor, but, you know, you sound to me like a guy who loves the dollar. Here we go. Oscar in the house. Brett, B. McD, Green Lion. Let's see. Did Orlando give his opinion on Agba as a stopgap? Yeah, I did yesterday. And you don't lose much. You get the same 5, 6, 7 sacks. That's what I said, basically. You know? And it all depends on Weaver, how they're going to use him. How Weaver's going to use him. So that's the other thing that we don't know. But you don't lose much. In fact, you might gain a sack with Agba. Who knows? But I did. You can listen to the whole explanation yesterday on the show. Let's see. Big O, love the segment of Tua's fault. Majority of people have no clue how mediocre and dysfunctional this team was, even when Shula was a GM. Estabas de bad trades, bad players, mediocre. Exactly, Willie. I mean, it's the whole Poyer thing. Oh, did you see? The media was like, hey, did you see that they asked Jalen Ramsey? Well, you know, they're playing the Dolphins. He said you know they're soft, and it's like I'm standing there going, is that something new or something? Is this breaking news or something? I'm like, I'm in the media. I've watched this team for half a century. I've covered this team for now 34 years. When did this become a new topic or something? Everybody knows you punch the Dolphins in the mouth, they fold. That's who they've been. It's like, really? Like, this is breaking news? This is what we're doing? We're this desperate? Oh, that's right. Ryan Tannehill. We're going to sign him as a backup quarterback. Yeah, that's how we're so desperate to write stories. Yes, R.I.P. John Mayall. Good job by you, Manny. 90 years old. Eric Clapton, Ted Nugent, Ginger Baker. Oh God, the John McVie. the amount of it was Juilliard of rock and roll is what it was. It allowed musicians that were young to come through and grow and mature and then go on, and a whole shit ton of them that played with the John Mayall Project just grew up and became great legends in music history. John Mayall is a god, a guy that is just not talked about enough, not appreciated enough. So good job by you, Manny. You're a hardcore music guy like yours truly. Very nice, bro. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what else. Mace Taggart, Zonka forever. Yeah, those were the days. Let's see. Ricky says, Big O, do you think the Miami Dolphins on paper are a Super Bowl team? Yes. Can they stay healthy? Give me health at the end of the year. I was talking with John Kangemi today at practice. And he was the first guy I saw when I walked in. And we were talking. I said, dude, I just want him to stay healthy at the end of the year. What I've seen the last 2 years, I've never seen. And so what the Dolphins have gone through in those last 2 years, it has been unspeakable. Just give me, some luck at the end, and I think he'll start winning some games in the playoffs. I really do. And a lot of this shit that people talk about will go away. The stuff that's gone on for 40 years, not for the last 2 years with Tua. Let's see. Terrence says, now you're talking, Big O. As a 42-year-old plus fan, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, because I didn't just get here yesterday, bro. I have perspective on this stuff more than most of the media and a lot of the fans, I guess. And that's where I hope sometimes I can add something to Dolphin coverage that you can't get anywhere else, because either people are half my age and they didn't experience none of this stuff. So they don't know. They haven't lived it. So they can't have the reference points that I do. They just don't. That's what experience brings. Mace Taggart, thank you for the love on the super chat. Keep preaching the gospel. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, as always. Welt and Rayom, folks, 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. And remember, it's not just about hurricane season. It is storm season, and we get showers and we get torrential downpours, and it can happen anywhere at any time. You all know it. None of us are safe anywhere in the world. But at least if you're in Florida, you've got the ultimate bookend tackles in Welt and Rayom, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Call them 954-966-4646. They've got their own adjusters. They'll go over there, do everything that they have to do, assess the damage. Then they call the insurance company. And then, they know that they have their adjusters and everything. And they know that the insurance companies can't screw around, because the adjusters are working for the insurance company, not for you. Welt and Rayom and their adjusters working for you. Now, if you're dealing with bankruptcy, unfortunately, what's gone on has been bad economically for a lot of people. They're going into their savings. They're going into their 401ks like never before. We are going into credit card debt like never before as a country. We are breaking records in all of that like we never have before. And so a lot of people, unfortunately, are having some fiscal issues and they're dealing with bankruptcy. Call Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. Nothing to be ashamed about. That can happen to any of us. Any of us, all right? Criminal defense, condo damage, personal injury, 954-966-4646. Let's get to our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Walton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
Doing good. One practice in the books, and a lot more to go.
Wasn't too hot.
No, not at all. Yeah, and we're sitting in the shade there. Yeah, I mean, you were there with us. Yeah, we have some shade.
But you got it.
Cloud coverage too.
Winfield taught me this a couple of years ago. Travis Wingfield, by the way, and you should listen to his podcast and follow Travis. If you don't, you're a fool. He does a great job. Great young man too. On top of all of that, he gave me the nugget years ago when he goes, "No, you got to sit on the top row because." You get the breeze. The lower you sit, you don't get any breeze, bro. It is so as long as you're sitting up top, you're getting some flow. Even though we no longer have flow around, we still have the other kind of flow, which is the good flow.
That's a good one.
Bad flow, we got the good flow now. You know what I'm saying? So
you get the airflow. I didn't know that was his reasoning there. I thought it was because of the sight line, because you get a good vantage point of the whole practice, and he wants to see it all. But there is that benefit too, of course.
I'm sure there's a little bit of both for Travis because he's got that binocs, so he's going to be able to see everything and all that. But he nailed it. He nailed it. He go, no, you got to sit up on the top row because the air. And sure enough, dude, a couple of years ago, I was like, bro, you're a god. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Because that helps. That helps a lot.
He figured out the new facility very quickly because it's only been for 3 years. So I know that the old one, and I mean, I only got onto the beat once that transition happened, but the old one, the press row was up top, right?
Yeah.
So like keeping it consistent with how it was previously. Then
basically.
Up top.
Basically. All right. So let me, I got to have a little fun with my media brethren here because, I find it funny with Jordan Poyer's comments that the Dolphins would fold. And I'm not sure if you know this, but you know that's been going on for 40 years, right?
Right. Yeah, I haven't been alive for all those 40s, but I know the history, yeah.
This happened before Jordan Poyer was born.
Right.
I'm just like, because I'm not understanding where we're all making it like, do you remember like the Fiedler teams punching people in the mouth all the time or something? Do you remember any of the Marino teams punching people in the mouth all of a sudden? And the last time they were physical was like in the really, truly physical was like, I would have to go with Woodstock.
Okay.
Because
I would go back to 70s, but yeah.
No, that was like the tail end of being tough was Woodstock. Okay. Why? Dude, you couldn't score much. You better be tough running the ball. You better be tough at stopping you. So you had the Killer Bees. That was the peak of the Killer Bees. By the time Danny got there and a couple years after and got to the Super Bowl, the Killer Bees were done and they were cooked and it was a shell of what they used to be at that point. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really that good anymore at that point. So it wasn't nearly, but maybe that was kind of the end of it. It's been 40 years that everybody knows they can't win on the West Coast. They don't win in cold games. They get dominated physically more often than not. All these things that everybody's been talking about has been going on forever, bro. It's not a McDaniel thing. It's not a Tua thing. It's a Miami Dolphin thing for 4 decades, dude.
And this is why it's great to get that opposing player's perspective in Jordan Poyer coming over from Buffalo, a team that has had all that success against the Dolphins, because he just gave us the real of what they were saying in their locker room and what has led to the success that the Bills have. Is that, okay, you punch them in the mouth and they'll fold. And then sure enough, clearly that was successful for them because it worked. Was it 13 of the last 15?
You weren't around for Dolphins Bills in the early 90s, but every one of us that are Dolphin fans, we sat there and we knew that the Bills were way more physical than the Dolphins. We knew that in the physical department, we had no chance to hang with the Bills. what we were hoping for is that the finesse part, the speed, the arm of Marino, the receivers, all that would be the equalizer to all of that. But we knew we couldn't stay in the ring, right in the middle of the ring, and slug it out with the Bills because we would die. Just like John Riggins did to us years ago when, we couldn't stop John Riggins, and he just kept running and running and running. Just like Thurman Thomas ran on us for 300 yards. Same thing. It's just hilarious to me. And it just seems to me like sometimes some people in the media either have no perspective or just they're caught in prisoners of the moment thing, and then they're painting it that way when it's something that's been an organizational problem for many generations now.
Yeah. Or short-term memory, losing the long-term memory of all those past experiences.
Oh, I haven't forgotten it.
But clearly you haven't. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it has been something that's been around the franchise for so long, and why the Dolphins haven't returned to that prominence. I mean, among a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of things you can point to. But yeah, I mean, that's probably prime among them is not being to that caliber of, first the physicality. And I think what Poyer's point more so was the mental toughness more so. So yeah, I mean, there's both sides of that. So, but I think on the mental side of it as well is that he was saying like that. Well, all right, so week 4, Dolphins lose that one 48-20. It starts off where it's touchdown Bills, touchdown Dolphins, touchdown Bills, touchdown Dolphins. They're staying with them. Now there's a drive where the Bills score, but the Dolphins don't. Now all of a sudden it starts to snowball after that. You end up with a 48-20 loss in that one. Then week 18, Dolphins have a lead early in the fourth quarter, and then how did they smack them in the mouth? It was the mental aspect of, they just returned a punt on us, and now it's a tied game. Here we go again. All these things going through the Dolphins' head, right? You imagine. And then for the Bills, they feel now we got the momentum, and we know we always beat these guys. So there was a mental edge, I feel, when it came to that.
Yeah, no. I mean, on the physical side, dude, that's just something that Listen, up until McDaniel here, and Flo, every time you would play the Ravens, playing the Ravens. Oh, shit, we're playing the Ravens. Oh, shit, we're playing the Ravens. Because the Ravens would kick your ass. Every time they'd beat you down. And then Tua he's won 2 of the last 3 trips against the Ravens. That's unheard of. That's unheard of for us to beat the Ravens. It was just a constant ass-kicking and embarrassment with the Ravens from the second they became an expansion team, or not expansion, they moved over or whatever, right?
From Cleveland, yeah.
From the time they became the Ravens and they had the new image with Ray Lewis and all, they would hand us our asses every single time that I would watch that game. And so that's why, to me, I find it funny that we kind of paint it like that when, it's kind of been going on forever. And Mike McDaniel and company are trying to erase something that has gone on forever. It's like Pat Riley coming in and changing the entire culture. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Heat barely was existing at that time, it was only around for a few years. So I really didn't have a long history of being bad.
There wasn't an identity yet.
Yeah. But the identity of soft and mediocre and average and all that's been our identity for forever, bro. It's just weird like that. All right. Now, have you ever been fishing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you throw your line in, right? And if you're fishing, you'll feel nibbles. But not to pull yet, right? You got to wait where you think you've got them hooked, and then you try to bring in the fish, correct?
Right. Yeah. Set the hook too. My brother's a good fisherman, right? So once you got it tight, then you got to set the hook so that you give it a little nudge so it gets in there.
Right, but there's sometimes that you feel nibble and you pull, and it's too early.
And then it's gone. Yeah.
It's gone. Okay, so Okay, so sometimes you get a nibble and you wonder, do I have anything here yet? So let me run something by you, since we're going to talk about physicality and all this kind of stuff. You have a new defensive coordinator. This is your first day of practice. Holland goes all out in some play on the second play and ends up getting flipped over by Malik Washington. And then later on, the aforementioned Jordan Poyer, who talked about physicality, lays a lick on Waddle too, and I'm like, And I turned to OJ and I said, I wonder, too early to say, but I'm just saying, could there be a little message from Weaver here? Hey, let's go, guys. We need to be dogs all the time, the mentality, this, that, and these guys come out jacked, and we have a couple collisions that you really shouldn't have, by the way, on the first day with no pads or whatever. But again, just a nibble. I don't know if we have anything. Well, let's find out tomorrow when we go to practice, and then the next day, and then on Sunday, I would imagine, is pads day. I would imagine will be the first day for pads, that kind of, or maybe Friday's the first day for pads. I'm not sure. But either way, from here on out, let's see what the effect of the Weaver thing is. And these two incidents, are they outliers, or do we start seeing some tendencies with these guys now?
Yeah, I would venture to believe that is something Anthony Weaver does want to instill in this team. Now, whether there's a correlation between those two instances themselves in the Javon Holland collision, Jordan Poyer colliding with Jalen Waddle, I'm not sure. Maybe that's just guys getting amped up, guys doing what they would normally do in a situation where a receiver's being thrown into the safety, and then got to remind themselves and recalibrate themselves into remembering, okay, you pull back, you hold off in those cases in practice, where it would be more ideal not to have the physicality there and lead to injuries.
Please don't go lighting up Jalen Waddle for me, man.
Yeah, especially him. All right, yeah, and Malik Washington too. He's just trying to catch the ball, but then Javon Holland flips over him. So you can't fault Malik Washington. He's just running his route and catching the ball and getting run into a safety with the route and pass. But so maybe not this instance is where you need to see it, but maybe just some small nuggets, some hints of that this will be the mentality that this defense is coming after opponents.
Yeah, no, it would be good. Now, the Holland thing, look, I don't take any word of any player. It's nice that Jalen, oh, no, he'll be fine. They all say the same bullshit. I am concerned a little bit about Holland because he did have the 2 knee injuries, and then now he got banged up, and he couldn't finish practice today. So I'm hoping everything's all right with him, man.
Yeah. So we'll have to be checking back on that as practices progress and monitor his status. So it did seem after that play, then he was trying to get back in there, and then afterwards went back to the side and was getting looked at by trainers. A lot of stretching, a lot of like stomping on it to test it, sort of thing. So we'll definitely have to monitor Holland's status now going forward. So unfortunate that you have something already to watch injury wise. Of course, as you already have players are rehabbing like Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and now Odell Beckham Jr. has to work his way from the PUP, as well as David Long. Now we learned yesterday. So so you don't want them to pile up too much. Of course, Jalen Ramsey was the second practice last year. So you don't want that type of just injury stacking to persist. Teron Armstead, though, keeping him off the field early. Good. Let's find a good balance. Let him get his rest. Make sure he's healthy for the season, as healthy as he can be.
It's late July. You're practicing with no pads.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't need to see anything from Teron Armstead. I'm fine with that. It's not a concern. All right, so what stood out to you today? What'd you like?
Yeah, so Tua, great 7-on-7 rapport, especially with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. So I think for the most part, you saw him pretty surgical, operating with his usual accuracy and anticipation. Some of those sideline comebacks that he threw to Tyreek Hill he threw it before the break even happened. And you just see the chemistry there. Obviously, he did have the one pass that was tipped by Saran Neal, and then Zeke Vandenberg ends up with a pick. So Saran Neal was one of the highlights to me. He had that play, and he had an interception later. and Jordan Poyer had an interception on back-to-back plays against Mike White. So the two former Bills DBs. So speaking to that mentality, I guess they had interceptions on Mike White, and Brandon Peely actually had a big nose tackle, had a would-be sack, seemed, but they allowed the play to continue, and it resulted in an interception. So a lot of highlights there, and then some things that need to be worked out. Malik Washington, along with being in on that play that hurt Javon Holland, he had a drop. I saw undrafted tight end Hayden Rucci had a drop and another bobble. Not he's a roster long shot, but just another thing I noticed. And a fumble snap exchange. Jack Driscoll at center, a snap exchange that so that there's a little telltale of where someone started off camp position wise, even though we're not really supposed to be talking about it too much, but there's only one player that's snapping the ball. It's the center. So Jack Driscoll was there, and there was a fumbled snap with was it Skyler on that one? I have to look back at my notes.
Yes, it was Skyler.
Yeah.
It was Skyler. Yeah. The Hardison kid had a terrible day today.
He had a rough one. He threw into deep triple coverage. Marcus May dropped the interception, but I mean, there was no chance that ball was getting completed.
He was the Oprah of quarterbacks. You get an interception, and you get an interception, and you get an interception today. Back to the Tua thing. Wrap it up here. One of the things that I talked about with the audience today is, hey man, it's cool. You can handle things however you want, right? I don't think this is just today, and we'll see what happens. But if Tua wants to limit his 11-on-11s and starts limiting his practices, he's under contract. He's paid to play this year. So if he has any squabbles, you're better off actually taking the reps and being as sharp as possible, and make sure you make them pay even more next year. You know what I'm saying? So you can handle it however you want. But if, again, this is just a nibble today, we don't know how it's going to be carried on from here on out. But if you continue on a pace where you are going to you're not going to take certain reps and team reps and 11-on-11s and those kind of things, then when the season rolls around and you're not as sharp and you're making mistakes because you didn't take the reps you were supposed to, well, that's what you're paid to do. So, to me, he's the one that has everything to gain and everything to lose on it. Meanwhile, the team has all the leverage. He's the one that's going to take all the heat for not playing well. If he doesn't play well, if they lose, he's going to take the heat, all of those kind of things. So it'll be interesting to see. Right now, it doesn't matter much, but as the training camp goes on, it'll be something to watch to see how he does it, because I think it could set him back a little bit, not being as sharp as he needs to be. And you don't want to use the season to try to then get sharp. That's not a good idea. So I'm just wondering what you think about that.
Oh no, yeah, you don't want it to linger that deep through into camp and then toward the start of the season. So we called it on this show, thinking that might be the disruption that he goes for, is the 11-on-11 lack of participation in those drills, like he did OTAs minicamp. Mike McDaniel then did tell us that it would be similar to those drills, and then actually we did see him in 11-on-11 taking some snaps under center, but only for handoffs, so only in on the run plays, not making any throws in 11-on-11 work. So still did look good in 7-on-7, but end of the day, yeah, and as Mike McDaniel called it, it'll be a day-to-day fluid thing. So maybe a few practices in, if he feels he's made enough of the disruption that he needs to get whatever he wants, or just make enough of that impact, leave that lasting memory with the Dolphins front office, then maybe he goes ahead and says, all right, I'm focusing on the season, similar to a 1 point with Christian Wilkins last year. But the two sides still seem to be still a little bit distant, where now it's being talked about that Jordan Love and the Packers are closer to a deal. And we know Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars passed Tua and the Dolphins in progress and eventually got his deal done. So this will be a constant thing, it seems, throughout camp.
All right, what do you got going on this Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, all the Tua updates from today on his participation and Mike McDaniel's comments on updates on Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb's timelines, Odell Beckham, his reaction to Shaq Barrett, and also I wrote a feature on Jalen Ramsey. So now he's about a year removed from that scary knee injury from the second practice of last training camp. So now he can take it to another level now, especially in this new defense. So we had a great interview with him and wrote about that today.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. There you go. Bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call my friends, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They know how to get it done. Trust me. As many of our listeners know that they know how to get it done. Not just me now. Now it's lots of our listeners are calling 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Yes, they can. Welton Rayom can help. All right. Whew. Gave me a moment to turn on the damn AC. Yes, sir. What do we got?
Manny just got in touch with me. Do you still want him to call in, Manny?
Let's do it tomorrow. We'll push it to tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. What time for tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll tell you after. We'll set it up because we're doing afternoon tomorrow. All right. By the way, breaking news: Senator Loomis will announce plans for new legislation at the Bitcoin conference that would require the Federal Reserve to hold some Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. See, it's not the Trump thing. Trump's a clown. He doesn't know shit. Cynthia Loomis knows her shit. That's what we're talking about. By the way, Kamala, if she picks the governor from Pennsylvania, he's one of the few pro-Bitcoin blockchain Dems, actually. So, not sure who she's going to pick, but we'll see. But see, that's where, if it's not for Republicans, crypto doesn't make advancements in this in America. They're the only ones. And Cynthia Loomis, I don't care about the other politics or anything. I'm just talking about crypto. Okay. I don't care about any of the other stuff and all that. Normally, I don't talk about anything except money. So all I talk about is money. I don't get into the culture war stuff and all that. There's too much there. I don't care about that stuff. That's all craziness. Money, I think we can all agree. You know, even if you don't want to admit that people do stupid things with it just because it's your candidate. But anyway, she knows her shit when it comes to Bitcoin and the blockchain and all that kind of stuff. So she knows how to advance this for all of us. She's fighting for, custodial. The idiots on the other side, they don't want us to have any custodial wallets. They want to take everything. It's like, just terrible people, dude. Terrible people. But anyway, so good job by Cynthia Loomis. And I would imagine Trump is on board with that, and he's going to talk about that on Saturday. So we'll see. We shall see. Let's see. Big O, you know this. The team reflects their head coach, and sorry to say we have a totally finesse head coach. At least with Flores, we were a little bit tougher because he's a tough asshole. Yeah. That's very true. A lot of times you do reflect your head coach, Now, they were in San Francisco, and they knew how to run the ball there, and they were pretty physical. So, you know what I mean? Maybe it's just a matter of getting the right players so he can run that kind of an offense where he can really punish people with the run. I mean, he does it in a finesse style, but you want to add a little bit more power to it. So where he comes from, and see the interesting part about your statement, Oscar, is that they all come from that same tree. And they all have running in them. It's just that our guy has a tendency of abandoning it. It's weird. Like you fell from that tree, but sometimes the apple rolls a little farther than it should. You know, it's weird. It's kind of an odd thing with Mike McDaniel, because when it's going well, he just doesn't stay with it, and I never can understand that. Big O, I might be an old fart, not in the true Finn fan league, and have been a Finn fan for over 50 years, and agree with a vast majority of Dolphin analysis. Keep up the great work, brother. Thank you, Brent. That's very nice. Crazy Big O, about to be this year, this year, 5 years of Tua to get hyped. Your top 5 games so far. Oh God, I don't know, man. The comeback against the Ravens is definitely one of them for sure. When he was a rookie, when he split the coverages down the middle on 4th down against the Patriots, that was fucking money. That was just a king size throw. That was just a monster major league throw. God, that was a great throw. So there's a couple of them that come to mind when you think about some of his performances. But it's still, he's only had a really good offensive coach now going into his 3rd year. So let's see if he can build some real memories where we're talking about some serious wins. You know, those are the wins he needs now. Those are the wins our team has needed for 40 years. The big wins in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that the Tua haters. Well, Tua needs to do that. No, you asshole. The Miami Dolphins need to do that. It's like, what have you been watching? You think it's a Tua thing? It's like, come on, bro. All of a sudden, oh yeah, no. All our quarterbacks were winning Super Bowls. So Tua has to win a Super Bowl. You know, all our teams, they won big games. They always win in the winter. They always win on the road. They always win big moments. Now with Tua, we don't. It's like, that's the way you Tua haters make it sound. Well, you know, everything was great before he got here. You guys are a trip. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, custom printing and embroidery. Give them a ring, 786-618-1443. Dolphins hold their first practice today. Training camp opened up today. Tua limited on the 11-on-11s, completed completely on the 7-on-7s. No Armstead or Chris Brooks did not practice. On the sideline, Javon Holland, by the way, suffered a lower leg injury in a collision, could not finish practice. We don't know his status. Inter Miami will be back in action Saturday, July 27th at Chase Stadium. Inter Miami taking on Puebla. No Messi, by the way. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. What else? What else do we have going on? Oh, I saw this, by the way, which I want to congratulate Rebecca Lobo in, you know, we always say Captain Obvious. Well, we can call her Captain Obvious. We could call her Mrs. Obvious. Rebecca Lobo puts out that Caitlin Clark, she believes Caitlin Clark is already the best passer in the WNBA. And then they're asking agree or disagree. And I'm like, well, thank you, Mrs. Obvious. Caitlin Clark is the greatest female passer in WNBA history, not just the league. There's nobody like her. Taurasi was a hell of a passer. I mean, there's been some terrific passers in the history of the game for the ladies. Nobody like this one. This is the Magic. This is the Pistol Pete. This is the lady that adds a little flair to her game. So, I find it hilarious and obvious as hell. Like, how is that even a discussion in the league right now? Like, do you watch? Like, damn, that woman is good, bro. That woman is good. By the way, the Garvin Harrison kid, Hardison kid, if you go on Sunday, hide the kids. Cover the kids' eyes when Gavin Hardison plays quarterback. Okay? That was bad today. Holy crap. There was one play where Gavin Hardison threw an interception after about 7 seconds. Not 1, not 2, not 3. No. 7 seconds. The man had 7 seconds to scan the field and still threw an interception. That's it. I was watching and I was like, wow, kid. I don't know if they're on the phones now trying to find another fourth arm just for tomorrow's practice. Because you're taking reps with Gavin. Oh, shit. Do I have to run routes with that sorry ass dude? It's like that's what's probably going on. Like, wow, that was bad. That reminded me years ago, must have been 20 years ago. And his name, he was a quarterback for Nebraska. And he had one of the coolest names in the history of mankind for sports. God, man, now I'm trying to remember his name. And I know it was, I remember the name was cool. It was like 20 years ago. I saw him or 22 years ago, or 21 years ago, or whatever, maybe 19. He was, it's like Majors, could it be? Or a Nebraska quarterback like 20 years ago. I don't know if you can look it up for me, Sean. And anyway, this guy, right, that I know because I know the people that were running the game and all that kind of stuff. And when they offered him an opportunity to play in the Orlando Gridiron Classic, they told him, hey, do you want to play receiver or, tight end or something? Because he was really tall. And he refused. He was convinced that he was a quarterback. Okay? And this kid was terrible. Terrible. He was bouncing shit. He was throwing stuff over people's heads. Like, he had no accuracy whatsoever. And it was one of those things where, like, you cringed because at that moment, remember, you're in a bowl game and everybody there is trying to get drafted. And the Orlando Gridiron Classic is, a couple of bowl games, bowl levels behind the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine. And hell, in those days, maybe the Hula Bowl was ahead of it. Maybe I don't know if the Kelly Tire or whatever blue-green game or whatever. Remember that game? That was a bowl game also. Maybe the Gridiron was behind those too. It was like a lower level bowl game. So these kids, if they were third day guys, they were lucky. Put it that way. Lucky if they were third day guys. All right. So poor guy. The quarterback is spraying the ball all over the place. And these kids are running routes and they have no shot. And so they can't showcase their skills when he's the one at that moment taking routes. And there's only 3 on each side. So somebody has to take a third of the reps and people are going to have to run a third of those routes. And man, it was brutal. He never had a shot in the league. Never was drafted. I don't even know. Maybe he played in the CFL or something. I'm not sure. I don't know if he even played arena ball. I'm trying to remember his name, but it was a really cool. Anybody that's a Nebraska fan, if remembers a quarterback that you guys had like 20, 22 years ago, but he had a really, really cool name. That's the guy. Gunn or Majors or something. I forgot what the hell it was, but I don't know if any of you could come up with it, but it's just it's that guy. And this is what the Gavin Hardison kid reminded me of him. I just usually I can come up with the name after a while, and I'm sure when I'm sitting somewhere or after the show, I'll figure out the name. But it's just funny. It reminded me of that Law. I think the name was Law. The last name was Law, and he had a cool first name. Yeah, maybe it was Law. Maybe it was Law. No. It was. I could remember. It was after. I think it was after Tommy Frazier. No, it might have been right before Tommy Frazier. Dude, we're talking 20 years ago. So it's just quite a bit ago. It's hard to remember it, but yeah, that's what Gavin Hardison reminded me of today, that he was just killing people and killing their opportunities. Big O, did a similar situation happen to Ja'Cory Harris when he was drafted by the Eagles? Well, no, he had no chance to turn into a tight end, bro. He's too skinny. He just didn't have an arm. He played in the CFL, by the way. Ja'Cory ended up having a decent career in the CFL, and that's probably what he was. It wasn't Eric Smelly Crouch. And I believe it was right before Eric Smelly Crouch. Now that you bring that up, Luis Benito, I think he's right before Eric Smelly Crouch.
Was it Jamal Lord?
Jamal Lord. That's the guy. And Jamal is spelled with 2 A's.
2 M's. Jammal Lord.
That's it. Jamal Lord. That's it. Fucking cool name. Jamal Lord. That's the guy. Nice job by you, bro. Jamal Lord. My God, he was terrible. Holy shit. He was the worst quarterback I have ever seen at a bowl game. And I've been to a lot of bowl games. I've been to the Las Vegas Football Classic a couple times, the Orlando Gridiron, the East-West 20 times, the Senior Bowl 20 times. What other bowl games? I think I snuck into another bowl game or two over the years. And the Jamal Lord, the worst quarterback I have ever seen in my life in a postseason bowl game for the draft. The worst I have ever seen. That it was a crime that he even took somebody's spot. Put it that way. That's how much it was. That's how criminal it was. Okay. I would suspect that there's a couple of you in your primes that would have done a better job just because you would have completed at least a couple of passes. By luck, by osmosis, by whatever, by the force, whatever. But whatever it was better than what Jamal Lord had. Jesus, that guy was bad. Holy moly, that guy was bad. By the way, on the crypto side, Ferrari. So, Sean, when you hit it big in crypto, they are now accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum payments. Okay. The Russian parliament passed a bill allowing companies to use crypto payments for international trade. And by the way, we find out that this idiot is dropping the ball and not going to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville because it was reported that Kamala Harris was going to go. And now she's not speaking at the Bitcoin conference. What a dumbass. You should go to the Bitcoin conference. Biden wasn't going to go, and you should go, but whatever. The Hawk Tua girl is going to be at the Bitcoin conference. I found that weird that the Hawk Tua girl would be at the Bitcoin conference. Bitcoin is digital. How are you going to spit on it? It doesn't really exist. It's not tangible. It's an intangible product, Bitcoin. You know, it's not like you're carrying around this thing. This is not a real Bitcoin. It's just a model of a little Bitcoin. But your Bitcoin, you know, so, you know, Haktua is all about spitting on it, right? Oh, I got it now. Gentlemen, take your cold storage wallets. Haktua girl will be spitting on those wallets of yours. Although I will say this, Kamala's people have done something smart. I got to give her credit there if she's going to do something. Mark Cuban says advisors close to Kamala have reached out to him about crypto policy. I'm getting multiple questions from her camp about crypto, so I take it as a good sign. The feedback I'm getting, but certainly not confirmed by the VP, is that if she will be far more open to business, artificial intelligence, crypto, and government as a service, Cuban said. So we shall see. The Dems have a lot to prove when it comes to crypto. As far as I'm concerned, they're criminals when it comes to crypto. Yeah, I said it. Criminals. The shit that Biden has pulled has been some dirty ass stuff to stop people from getting ahead. Stopping Americans from getting ahead, which I'm not sure that's what a president's supposed to do. Anyway, let's get to some music stuff, since you know we like talking a little music here on the program. Where are we at here? Here we go. All righty. Musicians, first of all. By the way, I have something I want to talk about with Tyreek Hill. Really, really important. July 24th, on this day, we start off with Mecca, Mariana Ladybug Mecca Vieira from the Diggable Planets. It's the rebirth of Slick, because I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. J-Lo, celebrating a birthday today, born on this date in 1970. All that ass, and she's all alone. Just think about that. Just think about that. You got that ass, and you can't keep a man. That's not good. Paul Geary from Extreme, the drummer, born on this date in 1961. How do you have that ass and you can't keep a man happy? Damn, you got to be bad. Anyway, we continue. Linval Golding, the Jamaican-born British musician and guitarist for The Specials. Graham Lear, who worked with Gino Vanelli and Santana. Paul Anka, REO Speedwagon, the drummer, is 49 years old today. Jim Armstrong, Irish guitarist for Van Morrison, born in this state in 1944. He also played with The Doors and Frank Zappa. And that is musicians born on this date. Let's go with other famous people born on this date. Amelia Earhart, badass, born on this date. Okay, there we go. Now it updated it. It didn't update the ages. Not that Amelia Earhart is still alive, by the way, but just in case I do get some other people. Kristen Chenoweth, actress. She is 56 years old today. Rose Byrne, movie actress. She is 45. Smoke show. Anna Paquin, 42 years old. Nayib Bukele, Mr. Bitcoin himself, is 43 years old. Barry Big Head Bonds. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he stopped juicing. Now he's not. His head got smaller again. He is 60 years old. It was amazing, right? How his head even got bigger. It's weird. Carl Malone. He delivers underage girls. 61 years old. Linda Carter. What a wondrous woman she is. 73 years old. Elizabeth Moss, TV actress. She is 42. Emily Rickards, TV actress, is 33. Those are your birthdays. Sean Stanley. Do we have wrestlers celebrating birthdays today?
We do. Tori Wilson turns 49. Zack Sabre Jr. turns 37. Angelo Dawkins turns 34. And MJ Jenkins, she turns 33. Those are your wrestling birthdays for July 24th.
All right, we go in music history. In 1990, a case against Judas Priest opened up in Reno. The band was accused of planting subliminal messages in their album Stained Glass that led two young fans to attempt suicide. They'd later be cleared of wrongdoing. Yes, unfortunately, yeah. Nobody's doing that. That's not getting you to do all that stuff. You do it on your own. Superman was out on the TV and all that, and there were idiot kids that unfortunately put on a bed sheet and thought that they could jump off the roof and fly, and it didn't end well. Don't blame Superman. Don't blame Judas Priest. In 1978, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, starring Peter Frampton, opened up in New York. In 93, U2 started a 2-week run at the #1 spot on the album charts with Zooropa, the group's 4th album to top the charts. In 82, Survivor began a 6-week run at the top of the singles charts with Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky III soundtrack. In 87, the Police gave Oasis singer Liam Gallagher a formal caution after he admitted to criminal damage. The rocker confessed to grabbing a bike rider from the window of his chauffeur-driven car and breaking the man's sunglasses. What an asshole. In 2005, the Lollapalooza Festival wrapped up following the sets of the likes of Weezer, The Killers, Arcade Fire, Black Keys, Death Cab for Cutie, Satellite Party, The Pixies, Kaiser Chiefs, Widespread Panic, Dinosaur Jr., Cake, and many others. Pretty good. Pretty damn good show. And that's what happened today in music history. Snoop Dogg, by the way, is set to carry the torch ahead of the opening ceremonies for the Paris Olympics. How about that? That's pretty cool. So Death Row Records, French actress Latita Casta, and French rapper MC Solar and Ukrainian retired pole vaulter Sergei Bubka will carry the revered torch to the Stade de France Olympic Stadium to officially kick off the Summer Olympics. They will travel through the suburbs of Saint-Denis in North Paris before it reaches the Eiffel Tower. The team will bring the torch to the front of the Basilica Cathedral for a concert featuring French singer Slimani. There you go. I just don't see Snoop in an all-out run. And by the way, is Snoop going to have like a big old Led Zeppelin in his mouth and going to lower the torch and light up that Led Zeppelin? Come on, man. Joe Horn planted a phone under the goalpost for a touchdown, and when he scored the touchdown, he pulled the phone out, and remember, it was a flip phone and everything. And he made a phone call, and the whole, it went viral. This was before viral things were viral. This was viral. That kind of, well, there we go. Snoop Dogg plants a joint somewhere, and right before he hands off the torch, he says, well, wait a minute, lights up the J and then passes it off, and that's it. Right? I mean, if Snoop is going to light the torch, you got to light something else. I mean, if he's going to carry the torch, you got to light it with something. So, there you go. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. By the way, Ed Kelsey is my kind of dad. So apparently, Mrs. What's it called? Taylor Swift. She has a German stalker, and she's in Germany touring. So a German stalker who made threats against both the superstar singer and the tight end was arrested during Taylor Swift's show in Germany. Travis's father was interested in the case. And so apparently this guy is going to be kept in jail until she's done with her tour. So Ed laced insults against the stalker while wanting to know who he was. And he just put out a Facebook post that says, "Love to know who this some bitch is." So the man's going to remain in custody until Swift finishes her remaining 7 shows in Germany. The article also states that the singer and Travis were not in danger at any point during their one of her European concerts. Kelsey's back in the United States at training camp and has started with the Kansas City Chiefs. The team looks to become the first 3-time yada, 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 whatever, all that stuff. But you got to love Ed Kelsey. He's just, that's the father right there. That's my kind of father right there. I'd like to know who that some bitch is, right? Like I want to get a hold of that mofo. Yeah, I like that. That's some funny shit. Let's see. Big O, Linda Carter and Ruth Buzzy both share celebrity birthdays today. The original Wonder Woman is 73. Well, we talked about that. I didn't mention Ruth Buzzy. She wasn't on that list. I know Rowan Martin's laughing and all that. I remember that stuff when I was a kid. Although you can still catch it on YouTube, by the way. You can put Rowan Martin's laughing and it'll come out. Complete shows. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Big O, what's it like going to training camp and seeing colleagues again? Is there a hierarchy, any uneasiness? Oh, I'm fine. Same boring shit I've done for 34 years. You see everybody, whoever it is, Bo Camper or whatever, Omar, anything, hi, what's up? And that's it. No big deal. I don't know why there would be any uneasiness or anything like that. It's just you do your job, bro. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's for me, this kind of stuff has taken, like, it has degenerated so badly that it's not even close to what I used to watch in practice. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a joke what goes on. You don't really get a good feel for a team anymore. We've had that conversation before. So, today I'm there and it's, they're not doing anything with, I've been at this so long. I know I can tell when there's something means something when it doesn't. And, this is more muscle memory stuff than anything else. There's just not a lot you can take from it. That's a tough spot. Let's talk a little Tyreek Hill, because I wanted to talk a little Tyreek because Tyreek has been a phenomenal player for this team, and he has not been a great citizen at times, right? He's been a great teammate overall, and he's been a great player for the team. He's done everything almost you could ask for. He has some key drops that you'd like for him to kind of, stop doing. But overall, he's been worth the money. Okay. But there are some things that he lacks, and maturity is one of them. And he has shown it with all kinds of issues that he's had off the field, from that crazy ass divorce to breaking the IG's legs, to his kid setting his house on fire, to the incident at the pier with the old man, the incident at the comedy club where at least he walked away, but his entourage still ended up getting in a scuffle and all that. And the other thing that I've been critical of him, and it's all there, 2,000 yards. Remember that? And I told you this year, you could forget about 2,000 yards. They went and got a whole bunch of receivers to try to solve the third receiver issue. They went and got a tight end. They got an extra running back. They're doing everything to spread the ball around. And Tyreek addressed the media 2 days ago, and they asked him about, his personal goals and things like that, right? And everybody wanted to go again to the 2,000 yards. And are you trying to go for the whole 2,000 yard mark and all that? And it's always great, clickbait shit, all that kind of stuff. And Tyreek's answer, he says, to be honest, I have, wait, I'm talking about the contract. Here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. On the 2,000 yard receiver, he says, the quest for 2,000 yards last year was selfish. Obviously, it was great for me to come out and say XYZ. I want to get 2K. You want to do this and that. And he goes, that'd be great. But I feel like at the same time, I have to understand that the position that I'm in and being one of the leaders and just singling out, an individual goal like that, I had time to look at it, talk about it with my family. And it's like, that's very selfish of me, So here, moving forward, individual goal, I've been talking about the whole entire offseason with my teammates, with my family. I want us to win a playoff game. I would love that. We're going to start with that. Then moving forward, like to continue to build on that. We're going to move to the Super Bowl. So it's one step at a time. Like if I'm able, to help this team, do something special as a team goal, I would definitely count that as an individual goal of my own, and that'll feel good. That's something that I could live with for the rest of my life, so that would be great. I want to commend the hell out of Tyreek because he gets it now. He gets what I was talking about. Because if you're Tyreek dependent, it's bad for the offense. And it's been proven for the last 2 years. You throw too much to Tyreek. Either Mike McDaniel, you call it too much, or Tua, you throw it too much. And so clearly, as I've told you all offseason, they went and got 400 receivers at the third spot, whether you're a slot or whether you're Odell Beckham. But they're solving that third receiver. And they went and got a legit pass-catching tight end. Absolutely legit in Jonnu Smith. And they went and added Jalen Wright, another guy that looks exactly like Mostert and Achane. So they're going to spread the hell out of this ball. So I told you Tyreek wasn't going to get 2,000 yards. And I'm glad that this is his attitude, because that's what the attitude should be. We just talked about this before. The team's been soft for 40 years. For 40 years, they don't win in the cold weather. For 40 years, they don't win on the West Coast on average. For 40 years, they don't win big games, and they don't win in the playoffs. It's not a Tua thing. It's a Tua thing. It's a Marino thing. It's a Fiedler thing. It's an everybody's thing. It's a Chad Pennington thing. It's a Ryan Tannehill thing. Everybody has contributed to that because everybody's been on the Miami Dolphins. So I'm glad that he's focused on it the right way. I saw that yesterday, and I was like, wow, dude. Awesome. 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 Grow the hell up, dude. It is time for you to grow the hell up. Stop sticking your pecker everywhere it's opened and leaving a baby in it, and start focusing on what you need to focus and catch the ball on a consistent basis, especially in big moments, and focus on team goals. The individual stuff doesn't mean anything anymore for him. It's the same thing I told you about Tom Brady a couple of years back. What a selfish son of a bitch. His wife went with him to Tampa. All right, cool. Get that out of your system. You had to deal with Belichick. Belichick, go prove yourself. You did it. You won your championship. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Oh, no, I want to go one more time. Okay, I'm out of here, asshole. So she left. And what did you have to prove, Tom Brady? What was your 8th title going to get you? You think I'm looking at Tom Brady any different with 7 or 8 titles? No. At this point, he's done already. Just, bro, move. Just go on. Keep your family together. Clearly, his family wasn't important. At this point, what's another 1,700-yard season for Tyreek if you don't do shit in the regular season with the team? Nothing. You pat stat. So what? You're still headed for the Hall of Fame anyways. But it would be good if you did what Tom Brady did. You won a championship with one team, and you went and won a championship and led another. You know, Deion Sanders did that, Tyreek. Deion Sanders didn't say, hey, you know, I'm going to go to Dallas and go get 10 interceptions, or I'm going to break Dick Night Train Lane's record and I'm going to get 18 interceptions. You know what Deion Sanders said? I'm going to go over there to help those guys win a Super Bowl. You know, Deion is, I think, the most misunderstood athlete maybe in the history of sports. Because while you look at him and you think selfish, he's all selfless. It's funny because he brought the spotlight to himself and all that, but he was never really talking about the records. He was talking about winning, you know, or pay or get me my money. Must be the money, you know. And then he goes to Jackson State and you think it's about him, but he lifts Jackson State. And then you go to Colorado and you think it's about him, but he lifts Colorado. You know, it's funny. He's because of his outgoing style, he turns so many people off that you really don't look at the man and the work he's doing with everyone else. He went there to Dallas and he was like the left tackle for Barry Switzer. And he didn't have to be. He could have just been a mercenary just for himself. Didn't. So no, I'm going to show you that I can go and help a team win a Super Bowl. And so if you're Tyreek Hill, you know, again, this is what this show is about. Give you perspective. Talk about shit that's happened in this league for 50 years that I've been watching. And Tyreek Hill, my man, tear a page out of the Deion Sanders playbook. That's how you got to. Don't worry about the 2 championships that Kansas City won without you. Don't focus on the individual stuff. Focus on the team shit. Because if you bring Miami a championship, there aren't a lot of receivers in the history of the NFL that have won championships with 2 different teams. That might be a more impressive stat than that individual stat. Yeah, no, I won a championship with Kansas City and I went to Miami and I proved that I was one of the key pieces to help them win a championship too. They paid me a boatload of money and I came up with the big plays and I helped them win a Super Bowl. That's legacy shit right there. So my message to Tyreek Hill is, God bless you, bro. That's how you got to start thinking. And your goal is to become one of the few receivers that has gone to win Super Bowls with multiple teams. That's what you got to aim for. I'm sure there's got to be a couple, right? I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. That's just like kind of crossed my mind now as I'm talking about it. But there's got to be, you know, a couple of those guys that have done it, and you have an opportunity to be one of those guys, you know, overall. Not a bad thing, right? Not a bad thing. Let's see. Tyreek needs to realize that even when he loses all his money, if he wins a Super Bowl in Miami, he will get laid for the rest of his life. And a 2-time champion gets more sponsors for the rest of his life. A 3-time champion gets more sponsors for the rest of his life. A 4-time champion, you know what I'm saying? So those of you that keep adding championships to your resume, Well, sponsors are going to be want to be tied to you forever. But if you don't win any, well, then it's going to be a little harder for you to get all those sponsors. Let's see. I had the biggest crush on Tori Wilson. Why do these women do the fillers and Botox thing? It's terrible. Yep. Wouldn't building the trenches and changing the scheme to run a first play action offense toughen up this team? Yeah. Definitely. And I think they're trying to do that, but it's hard to keep your trenches good if they're not healthy, So that's what happened last 2 years. Their offensive line has been last year's line would have been the one that really had a chance, but Jesus Christ, dude, all those injuries. It's too hard, man. It's just too hard to compete that way. Orlando money line Inter. Yes, sir. We have Inter minus 200 on the money line against Puebla. Puebla is plus 425. If you want to give up a goal and a half and you're Miami, it's interesting. No Messi, and they're going to be missing a couple of Kromoski's not going to be there. A couple of players are going to be missing, right? And yet it's still minus 200 against Puebla. I don't know anything about the Mexican League, so I couldn't tell you who are the really bad teams. So maybe Puebla is really bad, but Puebla is plus 425 on the money line, and Inter is minus 200 on the money line. If you want to give a goal and a half, it's plus 125 for Miami. If you want to get a goal and a half in your Puebla, it's minus 190. That's what you got there going on. So there you go, Green Line. What else do we have? Andres Sandoval. If McDaniel doesn't go deep in the playoffs with the Finns, how hot his seat will? Oh, well, if he doesn't have success in the playoffs, his seat. I told you this is the hot seat year for Mike McDaniel. This is his hot seat year right here. This is it. It's going to happen to him. I guarantee you, if he does not have success in the postseason, he will be on the hot seat. I told you this last year while it was going on. Nothing has changed. He is on the hot seat right at this season if he doesn't get over the hump. Guaranteed. He's not on it now. But yeah. If those bridges aren't crossed this year, it's going to start getting ugly for McDaniel. Guaranteed. Yeah. I haven't been able to tune in for a while, but still popping in when I can. Thanks to you and Sean for the coverage. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the health issue was really, really bad. By the way, Bitcoin's at just under 66,000, 65,946. And bad day. Wow, holy shit. The market went down 504 points. S&P 128 points. NASDAQ just under half a point. No wonder Bitcoin is even. It's in the green at 0.01. So it's barely in the green, but it's pretty amazing that it stayed steady and we had a 500-point drop in the market. That's kind of odd. I would have expected a little bit more of a dip in Bitcoin, and it didn't. It held pretty damn strong. Best asset in the world, baby. Not even close. Not even close. Remember, folks, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, an Ethereum donation, which we love that. Don't forget to visit our merchandise store. hats, shirts, all kinds of stuff there. So please, great way to support us and spread the word. There's the QR code. We have the link on our YouTube page there. If you want to go to it, the link is also on the Instagram page at Big O Radio Show, but you can find it here. Use the QR code. Go to it, bigoradioshow.myshopify.com. The color shirts are going to start coming in this week. So we'll start sending those out by the end of the week here. So in a couple of days, hopefully, we'll start getting the colors. So thank God everything is finally fallen into place, which is good, which I've been dying to get all that. And all of you that ordered colored stuff that you're getting, I'm sending you a bonus. Every one of you. Okay? I'm taking the loss, but I don't care. You've been super patient. Nobody has complained. And you guys have had every reason to complain and rip me. Okay? And none of you have complained. A couple of you have asked, hey, what's going on? But no one, not one person has complained, which shows the people that ordered, that were the first group of people to order our merchandise, right? These are people that truly care about the show, truly want Sean and myself to survive and thrive in all of this, and really want to support us. So I commend you, and I thank you for all of that, and I'm all giving you bonuses. You're all getting something extra, and you're in whatever you ordered, you're going to have an extra shirt or an extra hat or something. I'm going to give you something in there. So every one of you that ordered and waited this whole time, I freaking love you people, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the fact that not one person ripped me, which I deserve to get ripped because, you know, it hasn't gone smoothly. You know, you order the white shirts and or the hats, anybody that has noticed, you get them like right away. We sent them out right away. Like within a couple of days, you get them because we sent them out right away. We don't waste any time. But the colored stuff, because we had to then, I'm learning so much about all this stuff. And, it was a process and a really pain in the ass process, unfortunately. But now we've gone through it and we're starting to get over the hump. So all of you out there that ordered, you're all getting some bonus for waiting and supporting and loving the way you guys love us, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And visit our amazing sponsors, please. Okay, because we can't do it without Toyota of Hollywood, which we're there every second Wednesday of the month. So if you're looking for a Crown or a Prius or a Corolla or a Cross or a RAV4 or a Camry or a hybrid, please go out there and reach out to my fantastic people at Toyota of Hollywood, Herbie Lopez and the awesome people there at Toyota of Hollywood. They know how to get it done, and they've been supporting us for a while now. 1841 North State Road 7 on State Road 7 between Hollywood and Sheridan. So get on out there, see Herbie, tell him that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Appreciate you all out there. Any noise on the Marlins trade that Green Lion, I'm not sure if you know, you watch a lot. We don't talk any Marlins. I will not give you a score. I will not give you any news. I will not rip them. I will not give them any pleasantries. Nothing whatsoever. They do not exist anymore on my show at all. The day they want to start to commit to winning, then we'll get back to talking about the Marlins. But until then, and even if a new owner takes over, I'm never talking Marlins again until they do something that proves that they care about winning. So I don't care if they sign anybody. I don't care if they trade the whole team. But just so you all know out there, you will get nothing about the Marlins on this show ever again. Ever again. The day they start spending money, then you can say, oh, well, then maybe, we'll start talking about them. But just so you guys will know, because I guess, for several weeks now, if you haven't noticed, I do the 3A graphics, and there's no mention of any of their games ever. I will not talk anything Marlins ever again. Ever. They're done in my book. There's no more chances. They don't deserve anything ever again. Okay? That when they start doing their part, then I'll do my part. But till then, you don't do your part. So just to be clear, they don't even exist. I don't watch them. I don't care about them. Seriously. I don't watch them anymore. I don't care. I don't even know what's going on with them. I don't read anything anymore about them. I have completely detached from them. As far as I'm concerned, there's 4 pro teams in town. That's where I'm at. There's 4 pro teams in town. As far as I'm concerned, no one should ever buy a Marlins ticket ever again. No one should ever go to the games. No one should ever watch at all. That's it. That's the way I feel about the Marlins. Back to my stance towards the end of the Loria thing, that I never talked about the Marlins for their final 3-4 years of existence. It didn't matter. Jose Fernandez could pitch, and I didn't mention anything. Okay? That's how it was at the end of the Loria thing. Anybody who watches my show and been following, they know exactly what they lived it. They know exactly how it was. The open of my show it mentioned the 4 other teams because it mentioned the Canes. We didn't have an intro then. Anybody remember that? That the open of the show didn't have the. Wait a minute. I think I still have it here. I'm pretty sure that when they re-recorded the thing for me, we didn't mention Marlins on it. You know, it was Heat, Panthers, Canes, Dolphins, and that's it. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. Let me see if I still have it. Where is it? Let's see. Well, we're going to dig deep into the archives. Oh, man. Oh. Let's see. Deep into the archives.
Yeah. Big go, we told the gameplay.
This one might have it.
No games, man. It's just truly probably Pablo. Culture. What it do, baby? Yeah. Oh, this is the Big O Show. Good morning, South Florida. How y'all feeling this morning? Yeah. This is the Big O Show. Big O, what it do, baby? Oh, this is the Big O Show. No production. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is the Big O Show. Let's go turn the radio up. Yo, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. 560 QAM. Got it on lock. They too hot, baby, so you know that they cannot stop. So pick up the phone so you can express how you feel. I'm down with Big O, cause you know he keeps it real. 5670560. So free and date and ride, well, let's go. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what it means. Monday to Friday, 5 to 7, yeah. Body Pablo in the Big O Show. O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show. Big O. No one has a similar show, cause it's pound 560 on my singular phone. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct, because nobody do it bigger than Big O in the set. From sunrise to live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Keep it locked on the dial, 560 on the dial. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break in the morning, 5 in the morning, 560 radio, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call them and let them know.
There we go. By the way, Lord Productions did such an awesome job with that tune. I haven't heard it completely in a while, and it is a great ride. And you notice that part at the end that here's where the rumors end, and then some of them begin, and that's kind of been what we do here on the show. That we tell you, yeah, that stuff is not true. There's no way that that's going to happen. That kind of stuff. So, but yeah, you know what? I don't know if I have it still. I thought maybe I would have it, but we had a show. We had an open that we left out the Marlins. That one didn't have the Marlins anyway, as it is. I see now. Anyway, what year was that recorded? God, bro. I was doing 5 a.m. I was doing 5 to 7 before Joe, because Joe had started doing the night broadcast on Channel 6. So then he was ending late. So they wanted to start him later. And he used to start at 6 or 5:30, I think it was. So they wanted to start him at 7. So they asked me if I was interested in doing 5 to 7. But I was able to do it from my house, which is good. And I said, yeah, I can do that one from my house. So Brian Spector was my producer. This must have been easy 15, 18 years ago. Easy. Something like that. Early 2000s. Some point in the early 2000s. That's where that was. May says classic. I remember this like yesterday. Yeah. Lord Productions did a great job with that open. They were fantastic, man. They were skilled. They were talented. Let's see here. Yeah. I got a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff that I have floating around in here that it just would be absolutely nutty to play some of the stuff that I have. What's this one? Female? There's one with a female. I don't think we ever use this one, actually. So nobody would really know this one because it was a prototype. I think it was.
Yeah, Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuning into the Big O Show on 560.
There you go. That one. That's the female one. But anyway, I don't know where it's at right now because I have all these sound bites all over the damn place, and I don't know exactly where it's at. Dang, wish I would have been listening back then. Seems like a vibe. It was fun. Radio was good then. It was actually good. Big O, do you have the 640 sports intro? I don't think so. I don't know if I have. I probably, actually, that's not true. I probably have it somewhere. It's just I don't know where the hell it's at right now. That's probably what it is, really. Let's be honest. I probably have it. I just don't know where the hell it's at. Yeah. 640. That's funny. Hey, it's Big O, and I'm inviting you to come out this Thursday. There we go. Well, thank you, and good morning. And for the first time since... that's 850 stuff and 640. That's crazy. That's 850 stuff that I used to send to them to do sports updates on 850. Too much, bro. Too much. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Stay white.
Okay, Mickey, relax. Big O, there has to be no more bigger sting in sports. Is the Titans 1 yard away? If it ever happened to us, we would be in shambles. Yeah, that would be bad. I would have to agree with you on that one. Let's give Tyreek Hill a victory cigar for finally getting it. Hopefully, it's just not one moment of clarity. You know what, Oscar? Why not, Sean? Give Tyreek Hill a victory cigar. What the hell? That is awesome. There you go. Nice job by you, Tyreek. That's how you do it, bro. That's how you do it. Team game, baby. Keep it as the team game, Tyreek. So it's all about.
To put it bluntly, weed.
Anyway, we thank David Furones. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley. We are headed to practice again tomorrow, but tomorrow's an afternoon show as it is. So we'll be at Hialeah Park like we are for every Thursday. I'll be out at camp. They don't allow us to post any pictures or videos or anything from camp during practice, by the way. Doesn't matter for me. I just make the notes, and then when I get here, I'll give you the whole breakdown on everything I saw in practice. So, and I'll do the same thing tomorrow like we did today. We'll break everything down and tell you everything that went on and all our thoughts. We appreciate all of you out there as always. We'll see you tomorrow at Hialeah Park. Don't forget to sign up at Hialeah Park. You can get a free $100, a no-regret first bet. Use that QR code that we have there for the no-regret first bet, or go to the Hialeah Park website and open up your account through there. Remember, if you already have a Hard Rock account, don't use the same phone number or email. Use a different email or phone number. Open the account, make your bet. You're going to get $100 no regret first bet. And if you happen to live in that Hialeah area, you go there and you open up the account and you show the ladies, they give you an extra $50 on top of that so you can gamble in the in the casino. Also, they're giving away an Alfa Romero too. Yeah, at Hialeah Park. That's actually pretty cool. So if you want to try to win the Alfa Romero, you've got to go down there and play the loosest slots in the state, folks. And that is, absolutely etched in stone. Loosest slots. How do you win? Between August 1st through August 31st, you can earn entries by playing the slots. The more you play, the more drawings you earn. Put all your drawing entries into the drawing drum, and then you can win the Alfa Romero SUV the night of Saturday, August 31st at 1 a.m. You've got to be present to win, and trust me, you want to go. You know why? A lot of people don't end up going. They end up calling name after name. It takes a while, a little bit, before they get to the winner. Rarely do they call the name and the first person they call is right there. I've done it. I've been there several times. I'm trying to win a vehicle too, bro. I'm not an employee. I'm eligible. So drive home in a new Alfa Romero SUV. All right. So check it out. They're at Hialeah Park, baby. All right. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Same time. Well, 3:00 this time. Same time. Same place. Same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.